All right, today we're talking about the Flightscope Mevo Plus, and I'm not gonna lie, there are a ton of really good reasons to go out and buy this right now. But you know what? It's not for everybody. It is not a perfect device, and it may not be for you depending on what you were looking for. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about 5 reasons you should maybe skip this and go out and buy perhaps the Bushnell Launch Pro, perhaps the Garmin R10, or maybe something totally different. If you're trying to figure out if you should make that decision, if you should make this purchase, keep watching. This video is for you. All right, so you may have noticed I am not in my typical office. I'm on vacation here in Sun River, Oregon, which is one of my all-time favorite places. Crosswater here is one of my all-time favorite golf courses. You definitely want to go check it out if you are in the area. And there's also a reason that the only launch monitor I brought on this trip, Flightscope Mevo Plus. And no, it wasn't to record this video. This was kind of an afterthought. I love this thing. It's great. But again, it's not for everybody. It's not perfect. So let's jump into those 5 reasons that maybe you should skip it right now. Okay, I've got a quick addendum for you because in the time since I originally shot this video last week, Flightscope has come back to me and let me know about some updates to their pricing. It now, instead of being $2,000, is all but officially $1,799. It's been for sale for $1,799 for the last month or so. But here's the kicker. On top of that, our BREAKINGEIGHTY coupon code, which is BREAKING80 with 80 spelt out, gets you an additional 5% off of that, which brings the total price of the Mevo Plus down to like $1,709, I think, which is the cheapest I have seen the Flightscope Mevo Plus ever. They've also dropped the Pro package from $1,000 to $800. So instead of $3 grand for the Mevo Plus with Pro package, it's really closer to $2,500. So if after I give you these 5 reasons, you still think, you know what, this is the one that's right for me, make sure to check out the coupon code below. It's gonna save you some money. I'll get a small commission. Everybody wins. But that being said, it's still not a perfect device. It's still not for everybody. So let's jump into those reasons right now. All right, the first reason you should maybe skip this is because it needs a ton of space to use in comparison to some other products. So this is especially true if you were using this at home, maybe a simulator setup in your garage or something like that. You need 8 feet behind you as well as 8 feet in front of you. So if you're using this inside, you need 16 feet of space in order for it to track properly. And let's be honest, a lot of us don't need that much space. The Bushnell Launch Pro, you need 2 feet of space. You literally stick it right in front of you. It is a much better setup if you are going indoors. It's also quite a bit more expensive. And to be clear, this works great indoors. It works great as an indoor simulator, but only if you have the space. But also, even if you were using it outside, 8 feet behind you on a range, that could be a lot of space, depending on the type of range you were using it at. That could, start getting into the way of foot traffic behind you. It's not necessarily ideal. So if space is a consideration for you, then this may not be the best fit. All right, second reason you might want to skip the Mevo Plus is because there's no built-in screen. After using the Voice Caddy SC300 as well as the Bushnell Launch Pro, I've gotten kind of used to having a screen that I can just look down and casually get the information I need at a glance. Sometimes you don't need to track everything in an app. You just want to go out, spend 20 minutes before your round, get some quick data, and away you go. Here, every time you've got to set it up with your phone or an iPad. Sometimes there's Bluetooth issues, there's calibration issues. It's just not quite as fast as having that built-in screen. So if that's something that's important to you, you're not going to get that here. All right, the third reason you should maybe skip the Mevo Plus is because, being totally honest, the Garmin R10 can do a lot of what this can do for a fraction of the price. This retails for $2,000. The Garmin R10 retails for $600. Both of them are going to get you a lot of the same data points. Both of them are going to get you simulator access. So for the average person, kind of what I've been telling people is most people, you're probably better off with the R10. The thing I do like about the Mevo Plus is it allows you to dumb it down and use it as just kind of a general consumer, or really get into the nitty-gritty of the data and use it in more of a professional setup. Whereas the R10, everything is kind of consumer friendly. The app definitely takes more of a consumer bent as opposed to an actual tool that, say, a club fitter or a club professional might use. But you still get a lot of the data. The caveat to that is with the R10, a lot of that data is an estimate. They're measuring 5 or 6 data points and then going to use algorithms to get the rest of the data, whereas the Mevo Plus will measure most of that directly, which means it's going to be more accurate. That said, I found the R10 to be very accurate for what it is, and at $600 versus $2,000, for a lot of people, that's just gonna make more sense. Real quick, is this helpful? Maybe a thumbs up? If you're getting value out of this, just hit the thumbs up button real quick. That'd help me out a lot. All right, the fourth reason you might want to skip the Mevo Plus is that setup can take some time. I always pretty much plan for an extra 5 minutes of setup time every time I use this. Make sure the alignment is correct, to make sure the weather information is correct, to make sure the tilt and roll of the device itself is correct. And the app will help you to do all of that, but if you haven't dialed it in perfectly, then you're going to get inaccurate data. And that was something that I ran into early on when I was testing this out, is I just couldn't get the data to be very accurate. Now that I've learned how to set it up properly, and now that they've gone through some firmware updates and they've rolled out some features like fusion tracking, I have found it to be much more accurate than when I first got this about 9 months ago. But if I want to get that accuracy, I still have to take the time to make sure that all the setup is done correctly. So if you want something that within 20 or 30 seconds you can be good to go on the range, that's probably not going to be this. This you're gonna have to dial in a little bit more. You're gonna have to go through this sometimes cumbersome process of setting it up via Wi-Fi with your phone, with your iPad, whatever it might be. So if you're looking for the fastest and easiest to use launch monitor, Mevo Plus probably isn't the right fit for you. All right, finally, the last reason you should maybe consider skipping this is to get all of the data this is capable of giving you, you're going to have to shell out an extra $1,000 for the Pro package. So that's what's going to unlock all of the D-Plane suite of tools. So if you want like face to path and all of those types of tools, you're gonna have to spend quite a bit of extra money. I will say, I have found myself using that data more than I expected to. I'm not a super technical person, but having the Pro package has made me want to get more technical and understand all the intricacies of my swing and work to improve them. But for the casual person, you're probably not going to need the Pro package, but it's always kind of frustrating knowing that it's sitting there, that you can be getting more data and more tools and more features out of this device you've already paid $2,000 for, and if you want everything, you gotta pay an extra $1,000. So at $3,000, that's a pretty big pill to swallow, and it may push this out of the price range for some more casual golfers. So there you go. Those are 5 reasons I might consider skipping the Mevo Plus. To be clear, this is probably the launch monitor I am most excited to use. It's the one I've been using the most frequently. It's the one I enjoy using the most. But I recognize that every single point that I mentioned in this video, it's limitations of the Flightscope. But the good news is, if any of those points I mentioned are deal breakers for you, there are a ton of other really good launch monitors out there right now. And we have a whole video, you can see the link below, that walks you through my favorites and what I think the best ones out there are. My name's Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Breaking80, where we talk about cool golf courses and cool golf tech products. If that's something you are into, maybe give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, do all of the things. I'm going to get back to my vacation here in Sun River and go soak in the sun because it's absolutely gorgeous here, as you may have noticed with the shadows coming in and out of my face. So with that being said, I hope you have an excellent day. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.